Hello everybody, my name is Bragster and welcome to another episode of TEW 2020 where we are in charge of Impact Wrestling. We are off the back of a reasonably big show, the Pick Your Poison show, where Miro defeated Chris Sabin and Tommy Dreamer defeated Articus Kogar. We also have just found out who's going to be in the final qualifying match for that championship scramble match in the knockouts. It will be between Tasha Steelz and Kylie Ray. But yeah, the Rebels also defeated Darga in a handicap match to punish Darga. We've got a massive show today. We've got the Dinas versus the Sons of Perfection, Johnny Gargano versus Rick Swann, Miro versus Tommy Dreamer, and Steelz versus Kylie Ray. We got all of that, plus probably a few other matches that will be sprinkled in there. We have got this week, next week, and the week after. 3 weeks of Impact left, 3 episodes before lockdown, which will be a very good show. It is stepping up to be a really good show, and I can't wait to get to it. So, without further ado, we'll skip forwards. If anything happens, I'll show you. If not, we'll just get on with the show. Right, so we've got some news here. There's a lot of like contract negotiations going on by the looks of it. Undertaker, Ronda Rousey, Gran Metalik, who we'll get to in a minute. WWE rejection saying they've not offered a contract to Kalisto. Kalisto is quite good. He's got a lot of popularity as well. I wouldn't be against it. Any other negotiations? I don't think so. WrestleMania week is underway. Several independent promotions are surely looking to increase the increase in interest they'll receive from running shows on WrestleMania weekend. So yeah, I don't think we've got a show on WrestleMania weekend. So whoops to that. We've got, what's this? Rob Van Dam's contract is ending, or something like that. So I might have to look into renewing that. Although he's only got a month left on his contract, so I'll have a look at that. But I think the big one for me is Gran Metalik. So if you look at his stats, right? So he's got 39 popularity. His aerial, amazing. Psychology, great. His flashiness, great. He's not too bad on the mic. His in-ring work in general is very good. I'll see if he's got like his in-ring performances here. Look, of like 56 against MVP, 54 against Jackson Riker. So we got some really nice. He's really good in the ring. So I'm considering actually signing him up. I think he'd be a very good addition to the team, especially in that high flying ability. We don't have many amazing high flyers, so it'd be really good if we can get someone like him in. So I'm gonna do that now. Doesn't look like we're gonna get Gran Metalik. Gran Metalik seems set on going to WWE. They did offer him another contract. So the question is, do we go for Kalisto then? Like, Kalisto has a lot of popularity. He is not as good aerial-wise, but he's decent aerial-wise. I'll have a look. We can just give him an offer. It's quite open. So we'll get him on a handshake deal, and if we use him, we use him. If we don't, we don't. It's not that big of an issue. But I would have preferred Gran Metalik, but he seems set on staying in WWE, so unfortunately we won't be able to get him. Right, so we got a backstage incident with Jordan Grace, who gives the locker room a lift after she unveiled a series of spot-on impressions of some of her colleagues. Very good stuff there, increasing morale, cannot complain. So we're going to go straight on with the show. I'll book it and then we'll see how it turns out. Right, so I've booked the show. It's quite a compact one this time because there are a few big segments, like, you know, good 5-minute segments sort of thing. So there's a lot of that this week. Obviously there's a few big matches as well. So I think we should just get on with it really. I've really booked like the next couple of weeks until obviously the pay-per-view, just so it feels more streamlined. Obviously, we've got everything up to the boiling points now, like near the boiling point. So it's just when we're setting things off, and I feel like we're starting to set a few off now. So let's get on with the show. So we start off with a 56 rated segment where Miro defeated Tommy Dreamer in 15 minutes in an unsanctioned match with a muscle buster. Miro got a 61. Tommy Dreamer got a 36. Apparently Tommy Dreamer was off his game. If only he was on his game, because a 56 rating is really good. Miro is proving himself to be a, you know, reliable in getting match ratings, and it's brilliant to see. So yeah, really good match there. That's the end of this sort of part of the rivalry, really. Miro's now moved on from the Tommy Dreamer stuff. He's taken out his anger, and then it should progress from next week onwards. Then we've got a 50 rated segment that is really good, where there's a video package hyping their match between next week, which will be between Heath and Rhino. Really good stuff here, you know, between these two. It's just a video package showing their history and alluding to their history in WWE as well. So yeah, really nice segment here. Then we have a 42 rated segment where the North and the Rascals get separated. They are going at it backstage. It cuts backstage and they're just going at it. And they are removed from the building. Scott D'Amore and P.T. Williams, alongside all the other back room staff sort of thing, are separating these two teams apart. So it's starting to boil up now. They've been going at it for ages, and it's starting to reach a boiling point. Then we have a 44 rated segment where the Warriors of Pain ask for a 1 versus 1 match. So Maria Kanellis does what anyone would do, and that is send Brian Myers. She was like, Brian Myers, you can go. And as she's saying it, she notices that Brian Myers isn't alongside her, and she's wondering where he is. Next minute, all you hear is ding, ding, ding. And then Brian Myers goes, the following match is between Warhorse and the Butcher. So Brian Myers just sends in the Butcher. Like, Butcher is not ready. He's not in, you know, ring gear or anything. Brian Myers just throws the Butcher underneath the bus. I think, you know, Brian Myers is starting to work out what's going on a little bit. So yeah, really nice stuff here. 44 segment, can't complain too much. And the match is a 44 rated segment. Again, Warhorse with a 45. The Butcher with a 41, which is really, really good by those two. Apparently Maria Kanellis did some good work at ringside, and yeah, just really good by these guys. Warhorse did get the victory with a double foot stomp. You know, the Butcher can pass it off as if it was he wasn't ready for the match, and it gives Warhorse a really good win. You know, that 45 in-ring performance is very good for his popularity. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. Then we have a 67 rated segment where Jeff Hardy returns and berates Daga. He tells him that he's made a big mistake. You know, he's not only pissed off Jeff Hardy, he's pissed off the company as well. And when the company is pissed off at you, he says out of everyone, he understands when you piss off a company, whether, you know, it's what Daga did or, you know, it's failing tests, you know how hard it is to grab that brass ring. He's just made it 10 times harder for himself, you know. And Jeff Hardy said, I can't wait till you get back so I can teach you a lesson. So yeah, Jeff Hardy just putting out a promo here to do with Daga. Obviously he's not on the pay-per-view at the moment, you know, there's no mention of anything there. We'll get to where he fits in, but yeah, so Daga's gone, and basically Jeff Hardy's just saying, I'm back, I'm fitter, I'm ready to go, let's just go with it. Then we have a 43 rated segment where Aiden English interviews Brendan Webb and EC3 ready for their match next week. So it will be EC3 versus Brendan Webb. Apparently Brendan Webb was terrible and looked dreadful in this segment, but it's all about building up Brendan Webb. EC3 looked good, Aiden English did some good work, you know. It's all about building Brendan Webb. I like his look, I like the way he, you know, he presents himself. So I'm just hoping that he does something good here in this match next week, as it will be one of his first matches on Impact. Then we have a 33 rated segment where Tasha Steelz defeated Kylie Ray in 15 minutes. I've forgotten to turn Tasha Steelz apparently. Tasha Steelz has an in-ring performance of 27. Kylie Ray 33. Really good stuff here. Unfortunately, obviously, Tasha Steelz and the Elijah Burke stuff. I'll have to sort that out at a later date. Maybe on Explosion, just turn her on Explosion. I thought I already did. But yeah, Tasha Steelz and Elijah Burke will be working together and all of this. So yeah, hopefully it didn't impact the match too much. But that means that Tasha Steelz is in that scramble match now. So yeah, nice stuff. Then we have a 52 rated segment where Jake Chris says, I want one more match. No disqualifications, so, no interferences really can bother me, weapons are allowed. But the stipulation is career versus contract. If Rob Van Dam wins, Jake Christ is gone from the company, contract terminated. If Jake Christ wins, RVD has to retire. Those are the stipulations. That is the stipulation for their match at Lockdown. Career versus contract match. I'm excited for this. Hopefully they have a good match at the pay-per-view. I don't think they have the best of chemistry, but hopefully it still results in a good match, especially with the storyline the way it is. Then we have a 58 rated segment where Mick Foley tells Ace Austin, Madman Fulton and Eric Young that they are banned from ringside. They are banned from the main event, which is between Johnny Gargano and Rick Swann. Mick Foley does reference Sami Callihan and says that, I'm not in control of what Sami Callihan does, if he manipulates anything. However, if he does do anything, he will be punished. So just warn Sami Callihan in a way as well. Apparently Eric Young struggled, but Ace Austin and Mick Foley did well without the script. Just, it boosts all the heat for all of these matches. So hopefully, it all works out. Then we have a 45 rated segment where the Sons of Perfection defeat the Deaners when Joe Hennig pinned Cody Deaner with the Hennig Plex. Cousin Jake 44, Joe Hennig 43, Davey Boy Smith Jr. 39 and Cody Deaner 33. Really good stuff here. The Motor City Machine Guns are at ringside. It does mean that at the pay-per-view it will be the Sons of Perfection versus the Motor City Machine Guns, which should result in a really good match. I'm really excited for that match. The Deaners did well here. I did put them in a higher profile part than what they used to, and they did step up and they did put out a good match. So hopefully the Sons of Perfection then go on and put on an even better match with the Motor City Machine Guns at the pay-per-view. Then there's a 61 rated segment. Oh my god. Enzo Amore, you have just saved the women's division when it comes to the tag teams. Jesus. Enzo Amore tells Melina and Tennille Dashwood that he's booked a tag team match for Explosion. That was all it is. It was a 2-minute segment, throwaway segment. Melina, brilliant. Enzo Amore, brilliant. Tennille Dashwood, brilliant. Apparently Enzo and Tennille both had hot catchphrases. Oh my god, this is going to boost their popularity so much if this keeps happening week in, week out. I'm happy with this. What a signing for us Enzo Amore has been. Then we've got a 55 rated segment where the Rebels and the Kingdom are going at it. They spill out to ringside. They're going at it. And Mick Foley walks out and he's like, right, I've had enough. Right, we are not having this. You guys aren't battling it out. And from my calculations, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you. It means one thing. War Games.
War Games.
That's right, we are doing War Games. I have been trying so hard not to reveal that I've been trying to do War Games since the Kingdom have come into the company. Since the Kingdom debuted, I knew I wanted to do War Games with them. I knew the participants I wanted to do War Games with. Finally it's out. The secret's out. War Games is here. We are doing it. It will be the Kingdom versus the Rebels at the pay-per-view. At Lockdown, it will be War Games. Mwah. Unfortunately, we couldn't put everyone in this segment because there's a cap on the amount of people you can have in a segment. But we put out some of the main names anyway, and obviously Mick Foley put in a really good shift in, gained heat for all the storylines. We are gaining a lot of heat for a lot of these storylines, which I really, really like. And then we have a 56 rated segment where Johnny Gargano defeated Rick Swann in 23 minutes by pinfall with a Hertz donut. Johnny Gargano with a 59, Rick Swann with a 42. I expected a little bit better from Rick Swann, to be honest, and it advanced obviously all of the storylines. 56 isn't that bad. It's just a shame, really. Obviously they're not in a direct storyline with each other. That probably doesn't help. The fact that I had to add the fact that it progresses these storylines says a lot. It is just a throwaway match in the context of things, but it is still a big match, and it did produce a 56 rating, so that produces a show of a 57 rated. We capped it off. We started and finished with our better ratings, which is good to see. 56 and 56, can't complain too much. The fact that the best rating of the night came from Hardy, and then the second best was Enzo Amore with Tennille Dashwood and Melina. Absolutely crazy to me how that went about. Obviously that show was probably going to be one of the weaker ones. You already think to next week. We've already confirmed Heath and Rhino, and we've already confirmed EC3 and Brendan Webb. I know what the main event is going to be next week. You will find that out. I feel like it's a really exciting main event too. And then there's a match we're yet to announce, but we'll announce that on Explosion for next week. But it should be a really good show. And then the week after is obviously our go home show, so you're expecting the go home show to be really good, and I've got a lot of plans for that, so fingers crossed that all goes well. Just look at the Jesus, Danhausen is charismatic. I can see the kid doing well in the future. That's nice of Johnny Gargano. And the wrestling deal here is ending. Okay, I'll have a look at the broadcast slot, and obviously RVD. So we'll get to. I'll do all of that behind the scenes. But yeah, if anything happens before Explosion, I'll show you. If not, we'll just get straight on in with that show as well. Right, so we've got AEW Dynamite and NXT to look at. AEW Dynamite 77, they are putting on some great shows at the moment. There's almost no chance of actually competing with them right now. But NXT, however, 67, they put on a much better show than they usually do as well. Which is a bit annoying, but, one day we'll get back up there. Our size has changed a lot by about 5 since the beginning, so hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get it up there. But we're doing the best as we can to get it up there. It's just taking longer than we thought. Right, so I've booked the show. I think it's quite good, so I think let's just get into it and just see what happens, really, because it doesn't have much impact on Impact, no pun intended, but it still progresses a lot of the storylines. So we start off the show with a 38 rated segment where Melina and Tennille Dashwood defeated Triple XL in 12 minutes when Tennille Dashwood pinned Larry D with a Warring elbow after Enzo Amore interfered. Apparently Enzo Amore did some good work at ringside. Tennille Dashwood was miles above everyone else. She got a 45. The next best was AC Marrero with 34. Really good stuff here, and Melina and Dashwood getting back on winning ways against a credible team in Triple XL as well, thanks to Enzo Amore. Maybe it's working. Next is a 42 rated segment where Melissa Santos asks what happened to Bravo, what's happened to Johnny Bravo, and Rosemary in her own way tells no one to worry, he's fine, he's taken care of, and all of this, and it, very unsettling. Obviously Johnny Bravo's blood was seeping out the door last week, so I don't reckon it's gone so well for Johnny Bravo. Then we have a 51 rated segment where Maman Fulton challenges Ken Shamrock to a match on the Go Home show, so not this week's Impact, the week after. And and whether we'll probably get a response off Ken Shamrock at some point, but it's pretty much guaranteed. You know Ken Shamrock wants Man Fulton, so you don't reckon he's going to say no to the challenge. Then we have a 44 rated segment where Suicide defeated Daivari in 12 minutes with a Wave of the Future. Suicide got a 49 rating, Daivari got a 35. Suicide's performances are unreal, so fingers crossed he keeps that up. But yeah, it just progresses as Throw Heat Reju's storyline thing, and yeah, nice little match there. Then we have a 35 rated segment where Havoc and Nevaeh are studying the number 1 contenders match. You see them talking and through things, and then a projector screen showing the match. So yeah, what they're really thinking of, I don't really know, but yeah, they're just watching that. Obviously they are a tag team in the division, so that's probably got something to do with it. Then we have a 37 rated segment where Serena Deeb tells Su Yung she wants her an Impact, and Su Yung starts laughing, and you hear the words, "Be careful what you wish for." So that is the other match that I hadn't announced yet, was Serena Deeb versus Su Yung, which should be a very, very good match between those two. Both reliable in the ring, and hopefully we'll have decent chemistry as well. Then we've got a 29 rated segment where Lacey, Ryan and Peraza are seen talking backstage. Really bad segment rating. I hope that doesn't continue for weeks to come. I like Lacey Ryan, I can't remember her name in NXT at the moment, and I feel like her and Peraza could have some, good things going on, but if Lacey Ryan is shit, then I will remove her from the situation. And then the main event is a 44 rated segment where Dominic Guarini defeated Desmond Xavier in 13 minutes with a snap pile driver. Dominic Guarini got 39, Desmond Xavier 42. Nice stuff here, classic, singles wrestler versus tag team wrestler, malarkey, but decent show, which resulted in a 44 rated show, which probably does actually balance out. And I'm happy with that. As I said, Explosion, especially when it gets towards the pay-per-view, doesn't really have much storyline progression to it. But what it does have is some good wrestling and really builds momentum for people. And I'm looking forward to it. We've got 2 more weeks of Impact before we get to that pay-per-view. We've got a few matches already announced, like the War Games match, Johnny Gargano versus Ace Austin, the tag team title match, the women's title match. So we've got those 4 definitely announced. Have we got anything else? The Chris versus RVD match we've got announced as well. So yeah, we've got a lot of matches already announced with 2 weeks left to obviously boost up all of the ratings, as well as boost the amount of matches on the pay-per-view as well. So yeah, hit that like button if you like this video and are continuing to enjoy this series. Comment down below what you think to all of the matches already announced for the pay-per-view, and what matches you think should be on the pay-per-view as well. And if you're new here, please do subscribe, because obviously you don't want to miss a thing, especially before the pay-per-view. So I shall see all of you in the penultimate episode of Impact before the pay-per-view. See ya!